Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. Now, that's not going to include Collision. I did end up missing it because it went on a little later than expected after the NBA playoffs. Go Knicks. So I did not end up staying to watch AEW Collision. Instead, I went to watch something else that was on. So, my apologies if you were looking forward to Collision, but here we have SmackDown. So we start off with some highlights from Saturday night's main event, because that was most recent event WWE had. We start off in the arena with a promo from Bianca Belair, making her return from injury. I think this was just storyline. I think, although she did say she's not 100%. So this is more like homecoming. Get the fans hyped for what's to come. So she says, "It's feel good to be home. I love you all just so much." And then they end up singing, I guess it's the college fight song, the Tennessee fight song Rocky Top, which honestly that was very nice moment. So after that, Bianca continues, "This venue is so special to me. I got love from my family and my fans." Her mother and father actually sit in ringside, which that's pretty neat. She continues, "Everything I've been going through, I want to come back to my safe space and heal." And this is why she says, "I'm not 100%, but I'm doing everything in my power to get back out." Naomi's music hits. And Naomi says, "Oh my God, finally, you're here. I'm so glad you're back." Bianca then says to her, "Naomi, now isn't the time for this." Naomi continues, "Please, it's been so long. I'm always thinking about what happened between us." Bianca then asks, "What do you exactly want from me?" Then Naomi takes a look at her, says, "I just want your forgiveness. And I know our friendship has been off the rails, and I want to fix it. Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's put the past behind us and move on. But that's been difficult for me because I haven't been able to reach you. I've been calling you. I've been texting you. I've been trying to FaceTime you. So instead, I went to your folks' house. Gladly, no one was home. I let myself in, looked through your photo albums, and saw how happy you were. And it reminded me of our time as tag team champions." And Bianca just gets a soul-crushing look on her face. And she's like, No, I'm done with you. Go near my parents again, and I wouldn't be responsible for what I do." So Naomi kind of looks down, looks back up with an evil look on her face, saying, Wouldn't be good for either of you, for you and your mama to be in a wheelchair." So thankfully Jade Cargill comes out. They brawl for a little bit, but then Naomi bails to the outside. Bianca and Jade then have like a moment. They kind of look into each other. Bianca's like... And then this brings out Nia Jax. because now we get into our opening matchup. And honestly, before I get into that, this Naomi heel character has been exactly the reboot she's needed. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the whole Feel the Glow thing. She has needed a reboot for a while now. And this level of heel, ooh. It's been great. Anyway, we go into our first match, and it's the last for SmackDown for the Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. We're going to have one more on Raw for the women, and then we'll have one later on for SmackDown for the men, and then one later on tonight for Raw for the men. So we're getting down to it. So in this match, you got Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax. And Nia and Jade are pretty much focused on one another. They're trying to body slam each other like really, really good. And Naomi's just kind of trying to survive out there. Like, it's crazy. At one point, you see Jade tried to superplex Naomi. Then Nia gets under both of them. Hits a Tower of Doom spot, which those always look a little gnarly. Nia then has her two opponents stacked up. Goes for the Annihilator. Naomi moves. Jade takes the brunt of it. And as Naomi was going in for the win, Naomi comes in, rolls up Nia for the win. So Naomi going to Money in the Bank. And honestly, I hope she wins it. Because this character is everything I love. This is a nice, good heel character that you can't help but to hate. So, anyway, next up we see, I'm going to keep calling them the New Blood, because that's pretty much what they are. It's JC Mateo, a.k.a. Jeff Cobb, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu. They're walking around in the back, and runs into R-Truth. And the reason I say it like that is because WWE aren't renewing his contract. So this is pretty much his last night on... Now, I think he still has a little bit more time on his contract, but he's not renewing it. So, that's going to be interesting. So, you see Truth talking to Little Jimmy, a.k.a. his imaginary friend, saying, "We got beat by our hero." Then you see Solo walking up saying, Why are you talking to yourself? Then Truth looks up, looks at Mateo saying, "I've never seen you here before. What, are you his ugly little brother or something?" Well, how about I take his ugly ass and drop him in the ring later on? He then looks down for a second, looks back up, says, "Dang your big bone." Truth, oh, what a character. Gonna miss him on WWE TV. Maybe he becomes a coach or something, because I do not see him leaving WWE for long. Anyway, so next we have... Anyway, before this segment ends, we see Jacob saying, "Look, you guys go have your fun with Truth. I'm going to handle my business." And he walks off. So, yeah, this kind of feels like it's time to either shit or get off the pot with the breakup of Jacob Fatu and Solo. And look, I get it. You want to take your time with storylines. You want to make sure everything is right. It's been more than time. Anyway, next we see Nick Aldis. He's walking in front of his office. Then we see Chelsea Green and the Secret Service. I almost called them the Hertourage, which wouldn't be bad either. But Green has this, like, picture on a stick she keeps hiding her face with, which, honestly, that's funny. With Green saying, what happened at Saturday's night main event was a hit job. And Aldis is like, I'm sorry, you're a little muffled. I can't really hear you. So he takes the one stick. We get a glimpse of Chelsea Green's mask. She has another one. So she says, my guys couldn't stop it. I demand you strip Zelina Vega of the United States title and give it to me. So Aldis grabs the other picture on a stick. We finally get Chelsea Green's mask in all its glory. She actually broke her nose against Zelina Vega at Saturday night's main event, and she has to wear a protective mask, kind of like the one Cody Rhodes wore when he was undashing, which definitely worked for him. Anyway, so Nick Aldis says, look, no one is getting stripped or suspended. However, I got a great idea. Let's have Alba Fire versus Zelina Vega. And I'll make that match right now if you just leave me alone. And you see Chelsea Green struggling to get away. So, yeah, definitely gonna be some interesting character moments from Chelsea Green moving forward. We're gonna see how well she does. Although she's a great character thing. Next, we get a backstage interview with Tiffany Stratton, the current women's champion, in which I completely forgot she had that. Anyway, she says of the Money in the Bank match, I cannot wait to see who wins. I've always been a girl who's been obsessed with, but no matter who it is, and before she can continue, in walks Naomi. And she says, when I win Money in the Bank, I'm going to cash in. When I was fighting for the title, I remember you were there too. And then Naomi kind of walks off. Alexa Bliss walks in. She says, short, sweet, to the point, don't worry about her winning Money in the Bank. Worry about me winning. And she walks off. I would not mind either of those two winning Money in the Bank, but I feel like this is Naomi's year to win. Anyway, next we get our next matchup, as it's R-Truth taking on JC Mateo. And, early on, this is the Mateo show. After an attempted suplex, attempt by R-Truth, Mateo with a big old crossbody hits a moonsault, goes for a senton, that misses. Truth with a 5-knuckle shuffle, attempts the AA, that gets blocked, right into a Tour of the Islands, which I love that name for a finisher. It's great. It's pretty much a spinning slam, or like a... It's how do I explain it? It's kind of like a black hole slam, but you put your opponent's entire body into it. It's wild. So, JC Mateo picks up his win. He attacks Truth post-match. Solo joins in, kind of. I don't know if Solo's hurting. But out comes a little help for our Truth. It's Jimmy Uso. But then, at first, JC and Solo bail. JC then gets back in the ring, attacks Jimmy from behind. and leaves them two laying. It kind of felt like we were going to get an R-Truth Jimmy Uso tag team, which, short term, I wouldn't mind that, especially against the New Blood. But now that Truth is on his way out, I don't know, it doesn't seem likely. We then see the Street Profits arrive, walking around in the back. We don't really hear them talk. Then we get the similar Cody Rhodes podcast preview, which I may check out. I haven't yet, but I think I'm going to check it out next chance I get. So anyway, we get a Street Profits in-ring promo saying, "We love everything about you. This tag division is the greatest on any show, on any brand. Is on fire right now. But don't forget who's leading the charge. We got all them teams coming for us, and it doesn't matter who comes, we'll defend against anyone." This brings out Fraxium, which is a very interesting one. They just defended these titles against Fraxium. That's when the Wyatts interfered. We'll get to them in 2 seconds. So Frazier says, "Alright, since you're out here, we want our title shot. Up until the Wyatts got involved, we had you beat. If it wasn't for them, we'd never..." This is actually Ford, I think? "If it wasn't for the Wyatts, we'd never know. But we should run it back." Then out comes the Motor City Machine Guns. Crazy they're in WWE right now. My favorite tag team is in WWE. Crazy. So, I think it was Sabin saying, "Sorry to interrupt, but your entire basis is the Profits never beat you. They also never beat us. So if you're handing out shots, we'll take it." At that point, this brings out DIY, so that's Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and now Candice LeRae is with them. So that's quite an interesting development. So Ciampa comes out, says, "Pretty sure you've all had a million chances. Just shut your mouth. There's a reason we brought Candice LeRae in here. There's a conspiracy to hold us down. And with the Wyatts, we gotta get back to business. You all killed the tag team division we built. So how about we have a moment of silence for the fallen SmackDown tag division right now." Lights go out. No music, but we do hear a little scuffling. Lights come back on. The Wyatt Six have everybody surrounded, and they pretty much take out everybody, including Nikki Cross leaping off the announce table to take out Candice LeRae, and they stand tall in the ring. I am glad that the Wyatt Six now have a target, because after their feud with the Final Testament ended, yeah, if you remember them, they haven't really been doing anything. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Bo had an injury," or whatever. I'm just happy they're back on my TV, and they have a clear target in mind. So anyway, next we have Ethan Page joining the commentary table. He's the current NXT North American Champion, and he's scouting for his Fatal 4-Way match at Worlds Collide, which is the WWE taking on AAA mega show that's happening right before Money in the Bank, which is hilarious. So he's ready for this match, as it's Angel and Berto of Legado del Fantasma taking on Rey Fenix, one of Ethan Page's opponents, and Javon Evans making his SmackDown debut. I haven't seen much of Evans besides his time in DPW, if you've ever heard of that. It's a little small independent promotion that honestly you all should go check out. Anyway, Rey Fenix starts it out, and it's pretty much all good lucha stuff. Really good back and forth between him and Angel Umberto. But as soon as Javon Evans tags in, he just goes... He goes ham. Like, I never realized how fast this guy was, but good lord is he fast. Eventually, Rey Fenix does tag in. You have a Rana powerbomb combination, which that was nutty looking. Burrow tags in. You have a big dive off between all of them. Then at that point, Phoenix and Javon kind of get into the face of Ethan Page, who is now standing up off of commentary table. They both get back in. Then Page sweeps the leg of Rey Fenix. Evans with a super kick. Legado del Fantasma with a roll-up try that only gets a 2. And sets it up. Hits a Red Dawn, which is Javon Evans' finishing move. But Santos Escobar gets up on the apron, distracts the referee, and Page pushes Evans off the top rope, where Legado del Fantasma hits the MTY to pick up the win. So that was definitely a fun little showcase match. I do hope we get to see more of Javon Evans on the main roster, because he's very, very talented. Then we get something we haven't gotten in a very, very long time. We get a Wyatt Six kind of videotaped promo. If you don't remember those, Wyatt Six, before they debuted, or after they debuted, sent Michael Cole and the announce team these videotapes. These video cassette tapes, in which I assume someone found one of those old school TVs and played it for the entire arena. But this time it's not all of the Wyatt Six, it's just Uncle Howdy, where he says, "We won't stop until we get what's ours." Which, alright, are they actually looking for tag gold, or are they looking for revenge on somebody? Either way, at least they got some kind of goal. So next up, we got Zelina Vega taking on Alba Fire one-on-one, not for the Women's United States title. And honestly, this match was a lot better than I thought it would be. Not to say either competitor is bad, but I'm glad this got a ton of time. And they had a really, really good back and forth. Then after Alba Fire tosses Vega to the outside, pulls the referee to the other side of the ring, Chelsea Green then takes off her mask, goes for a mask shot, doesn't hit Vega, instead hits Piper Niven. Vega goes back in, hits a roll through into a code red to pick up the win. So yeah, it looks like Vega has been pretty much taking out the entire Secret Hervis. I think it's time for some new feuds. Let's get someone else up here. Then we see Carmelo Hayes and The Miz backstage, with Miz saying, look, you follow my plan to win. I took this chance on you. I gave you this chance when Aldis offered me it. But we're going to make sure we are Mr. Then Hayes stops him. We? You mean me, right? Miz then kind of flips out a little bit. He says, who do you think got you this spot? I did. Hayes replies, what got me to the dance is my talent. I do this one on my own. So it looks like we are finally breaking up Mellow Don't Miz, which I think is about time. We then get a pre-recorded Julia promo, but she talks way too fast for me. I do apologize. But she pretty much wants to win Money in the Bank. That's the gist of it. Then we see Zelina Vega. She's walking in the back of the arena somewhere and runs into Julia, who says to her, I see you. I see that title more. So Julia wants the women's U.S. title. Yes, absolutely. I'm into that. Anyway, next we get an in-ring promo from Damian Priest. It has been a while since we've seen him. And he says, ever since I beat Drew at Saturday night's main event, it's been like breathing fresh air. We've had our beef, we've had our match, and now it's over. And it went over a year. We took our beef into the cage, and at the end of the war, I walked out the door and put him in the past. And I know Drew is at home watching while he's healing. I still can't stand you, but that Drew in that cage match was a warrior. And I'll tell you what's next. I want gold. This war cost me an opportunity to be in Money in the Bank. But I got eyes on a certain champion. You know who it is. Jacob Fatu. I respect you. I know where you come from. And I'm proud of you. But I don't respect the crew you follow. At some point, we'll handle our business. And your family will catch it too. And Damian Priest will forever be El Champion. So as Priest is walking out from his promo, Jacob Fatu's music hits. He comes out. They kind of meet at the top of the ramp. And they have a little stare down against one another. Priest goes to the back. Fatu hits the ring for his Money in the Bank qualifying match that pits him against Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. And honestly, this match was really, really good. Hayes and Andrade haven't missed a step together since their best of 7. But adding the chaotic nature of Jacob Fatu was just mwah. Especially at one point, kind of early on, Jacob was going for a big dive on Hayes. Miz grabs onto his leg from the outside. They keep fighting for a bit. Then Miz then hits Jacob Fatu. This gets Fatu's full attention. Throws him into the barricade. Hits a massive hip attack on him that destroys the barricade. And it hurt him so much, Miz had to be helped to the back. So that's going to be interesting. So this pretty much gets down to a natural triple threat. Hayes bringing out La Mystica, which is, if you don't know, is Mystico's finishing move. But that only gets a 2 count. Hayes attempts a cutter that gets blocked immediately into a Spanish fly from Andrade. Fatu with a couple of sentons after. Goes for the moonsault, but that gets blocked. Andrade hits his moonsault. Then hits a DDT on Hayes for a 2. Andrade with a codebreaker. Hitting El Rana. And then a cutter for a 2 count. Fatu then dishing out super kicks. Hip attacks. And then Andrade and Hayes try to take out Fatu on his own. Fatu attempts the Samoan drop. That gets blocked. Do a big old back elbow from Andrade. Only gets a 2. As that happens, we see a couple people come out for the match. It's Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. We'll get to that. So Fatu attempting a double Samoan drop, but Hayes slides off. Andrade eats it. Attempts the moonsault. That misses. Hayes with a nothing but net for 2. Andrade attempts the message, but that gets blocked. Into a roll-up for only a 2 count. Andrade with a bowed elbow. Hayes with a codebreaker. And Fatu just laying it out, hitting a couple impaler DDTs, a hip attack, hits a moonsault on Andrade. But at that point, we see Solo and JC get up on the apron, with Solo saying, "Do another moonsault." So this distracts Jacob. At that point, Jimmy Uso comes in, attacks JC from behind. He and Solo then brawl for a bit. Andrade then hits the message from out of nowhere to pick up the win and qualify for Money in the Bank. This one was pretty much a big surprise. I thought Hayes would be the one sneaking his way in. But I don't mind Andrade getting in there. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with all these players around here. So next we get an LA Knight interview. He's in the bowels of the arena somewhere. And he says, "What's with all the punching tickets? There's only 8 days until Money in the Bank, and I'm all in." LA Knight to AEW confirmed? I don't know. Probably not. So he continues, "I'm going to get to the top of the ladder. And if it was one-on-one, I'd win it. I'm a veteran in this match, and it's anyone's game. The WWE and World title are in my future." At that point, he stops. He sees someone coming. It's Aleister Black. And he says to LA Knight, "You got yours, especially mine. Good luck, man." And just walks off. An LA Knight Aleister Black feud? I'd be about it. I'd be cool with it. So then we see Jacob Fatu. He's in the back and he's flipping tables. He's hitting equipment boxes and he's just making chaos. So then he ends up in this little, like, I'm going to say it's catering, but it's probably just like some sitting area, some area WWE set up. He's flipping some plastic tables over. And then Solo walks in. He says, "I was just trying to help you." Then Jacob turns right to Solo and he says, "For the last time, I do not need your help." And he walks into the darkness. Meanwhile, JC Mateo walks up to join Solo and just gawking. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. That feels like the stamp of, yeah, they're broken up. Jacob's now going to be the baby face and take on Solo / JC. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And now we get our main event segment. There's no main event. Well, the main event match was the Money in the Bank qualifier. But now we got a segment. It was supposed to be John Cena and Cody Rhodes face to face. It turns into something else. And at this point, there's like 40 minutes left in the show. I'm like, okay, what are you doing for over half an hour? So Cody comes out first, says, what do you guys want to talk about? We could talk about the record crowd tonight. We could talk about WrestleMania 41. After WrestleMania, I went home. I drowned my sorrows. Cody hitting the bottle. That's interesting. He continues, and I had a doubtful moment. I talked to one of my friends, asked him if I was a good WWE champion, and he told me with everything you've been faced, yes, you were a good champion. And it was a silver lining. And I was thinking of all I went through. I thought about John Cena. Thought about Cena doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And I don't know if Cena will ruin wrestling, but I am partially to blame about that. But I tell you what, Cena, just because I hesitated once doesn't mean I will ever hesitate with you again. Your expiration doesn't lie with your countdown, it lies with me. And this is my first night back. I'm getting a little bit worked up. And I thought, what can I do for the WWE Universe? How about a surprise? Say, what now? Maybe we should yeet. And I'm like, okay. Bringing out his tag partner. That's fine. Cody continues, yep, he is here. His main event, Jey Uso, comes out of the crowd, does all the yeeting with the fans, picks up one little kid, starts... Like, I'm going to say this. For the Jey Uso haters, I understand he's not that great of a wrestler. He's decent, but he's not up on the likes of some others. But you cannot deny he's popular. And people want to cheer for him in the arena. And look, I get he's not your cup of tea, but honestly, I can't help but yeet right along. So Jey Uso eventually gets to the ring after a commercial break. He's about to redo the whole yeet thing when out comes John Cena, who gets pretty booed. Pretty badly booed. So Cena gets in the ring, says, I'd be upset too. You're pro wrestling's biggest wannabes. You're nothing more than John Cena wannabes. You want my fame and money, but won't get either. And one other human being in WWE that emphasizes hustle, loyalty, and respect. My Money in the Bank partner is here too. Logan Paul, who gets the coldest reaction I've ever heard. So Paul gets on the mic, says, no, actually this is still Cena. He says, oh, you're mad only because Paul does WWE better than any wrestler on the roster. Logan is paying your mortgage. So Logan finally gets on the microphone and says, you didn't come to see them, they came to see us. I could walk on water and y'all would say I can't swim. Okay? The truth is right in front of you. This is a moment in history. Witness Logan and Cena standing side by side. You people are so ungrateful. The problem is, I should be world champion. Jay, you got so lucky at Saturday Night's Main Event, and you knew it. You needed Cody to save you. You can't do anything without it being handed to you. We are self-made men. And 5 years ago, no one would have believed I'd be a WWE star. And here I am tagging with John Cena. My time is now. I am the inevitable face of the company. And we'll see you at Money in the Bank. So Cena goes to leave. But Logan is kind of goading him into attacking the two faces. Actually, before that happens, Cody says, well, we don't need to wait for Money in the Bank. So Cena's going to leave. Logan is trying to get him to stay. So Cody gets on the mic, says, where are you guys headed? Are you going to go polish his Peacemaker? Ooh, that is a shot. Now, if you don't know, John Cena plays Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad movie, and then he got his own show. So, that's a reference to that. So, end of the day, Logan and Cena stay, and they just start brawling all over the place. Cena attempts an attitude adjustment. That gets blocked. Jey Uso with a big super kick. Cody with a disaster kick. Jey Uso with a big dive to take out Cena ringside. Logan attempts the buckshot lariat, but that gets blocked. Then Cody and Jay hit the Cody, which is, the 1D, aka the 3D, to end the segment. I'm going to tell you this was not a good promo from Cena or Logan. Like, I don't know what these two were doing. It was kind of saved by Cody, but... And that was a hard segment to sit through. And we got one more week of this, which... I gotta say, I haven't been looking forward to. So, SmackDown Friday night was okay. Nothing really to write home about, although nothing like super shitty. Like the promo at the end was fine, I guess, but yeah, not a lot to write home about, but we definitely got some setup for some future stories past Money in the Bank, which I'm looking forward to that. Alright, that'll do it for me. Coming Wednesday is going to be my Money in the Bank predictions. We got our 4 matches set. We are going to have our last 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight. So, yeah, that should definitely be a fun one. After that, here's what's probably going to go down. Raw, we got normal Raw tonight. NWA Power tomorrow. We got a 4-hour block of AEW content on Wednesday. Now, they're making it into a TV special, which I do appreciate. All that's going to be covered on Friday. Well, maybe not Fyter Fest. We'll see about that. Then Saturday, I actually got some plans. So I won't be watching Money in the Bank live, but I'll rewatch it probably on Sunday during the day. Cover it on Tuesday. In which, it should be a good time. Hopefully you stay tuned for that. Till next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.